What really caused Jungkook to suddenly appear and leave millions of fans frozen in disbelief before exploding with emotion? Could this be a sign of something far bigger than anyone expected? Did you feel it too, the sudden shock that raced through timelines? The moment when time seemed to pause and hearts began to pound faster because one name once again shook the world? Why did this appearance feel different, closer, more emotional, and far more intense than anything before? Don't stay silent, share your feelings in the comments right now. Hit like if this moment gave you chills, and subscribe so you don't miss what could come next. Because what follows may be even bigger than you imagine. There was no dramatic countdown. No extravagant stage, no loud announcement designed to steal attention, and yet the impact was explosive. Jungkook appeared, suddenly, and the world needed a moment to catch its breath, to make sure what they were seeing was real. Something about this moment felt unusually powerful, stirring questions, emotions, and a deep sense of connection that went far beyond an ordinary appearance. From the very first second, this was not just about what people said, it was about what they felt. A quiet but intense wave swept across screens, crossing borders, languages, and cultures without translation. Smiles formed instinctively, tears welled up without warning, and countless people froze in disbelief. Jungkook didn't simply show up. He reawakened memories, hopes, and bonds that fans had been holding on to in silence. Why did this sudden appearance spark such overwhelming joy? Because it arrived without warning. Because it felt genuine and unfiltered. Because there was an unspoken message that millions instantly understood. This connection is real. Distance doesn't erase it, and time has not weakened it. When someone like Jungkook chooses to appear quietly, the world listens because it knows there is meaning behind the moment. The story of Jungkook has always been more than entertainment. It has always been a journey. From the beginning, people watched him grow under intense attention. Yet each phase revealed something new that pulled fans even closer. In this unexpected appearance, there was no exaggerated drama, only sincerity. It was as if he was saying, "I'm here," without needing to explain why. Fans' reactions quickly became a story of their own. Within moments, emotions flooded social media. Some laughed through their happiness, others cried from longing, and many sat silently. Overwhelmed by a feeling they couldn't easily describe, questions surfaced everywhere. Was this a sign of something new? A hint of a future project? Or simply a heartfelt greeting meant to comfort? These questions weren't just curiosity, they were proof of how deeply Jungkook's presence matters. What made this moment even more powerful was its simplicity. There was no noise, no excess, and yet it echoed louder than the grandest productions. Jungkook managed to create a moment that felt deeply personal, as if he had reached out to each person individually. Breaking through the cold distance of digital screens, there were subtle clues, small gestures, familiar expressions, a calm presence that spoke volumes without words. Fans noticed everything, analyzing each detail, connecting possibilities, and waiting with hopeful anticipation. One thing felt certain, this was not accidental. There was intention, emotion, and meaning behind it. The emotions didn't fade quickly. Days later, people were still talking, reflecting, and sharing how deeply this moment affected them. For some, it was a reminder to stay strong. For others, it arrived at exactly the right time, like a quiet gift. Jungkook was not just appearing, he was comforting, inspiring, and reminding people why they believed in him in the first place. As the narrative continued to unfold, one question remained in the air. What comes next? Is this the beginning of something bigger, or a brief but powerful moment meant to strengthen the bond? Jungkook didn't answer directly, and perhaps he didn't need to. Sometimes mystery itself is part of the magic, giving fans space to dream, hope, and wait together. What is undeniable is the impact. Millions felt it. They didn't just watch, they experienced it. And that experience will be remembered, shared, and talked about for a long time. If you felt it too, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments, show your support with a like, and make sure to subscribe so you stay part of this journey. Because when Jungkook appears without warning, the world is reminded of one powerful truth. A simple moment can become an unforgettable emotional history. Asterisk, the story did not end with that single appearance. In fact, for many fans, it felt like the beginning of a new emotional chapter written not with loud promises but with quiet reassurance. After the initial shock faded, a deeper feeling settled in. It was the realization that Jungkook's presence, even when brief, carries a weight that few artists in the world can match. His sudden emergence became a mirror, reflecting back the loyalty, patience, and love that fans have held onto for so long. Asterisk across different time zones, people replayed the moment again and again. Not because they were searching for something new, but because they were trying to fully absorb what they had already felt. Each replay carried a slightly different emotion. The first viewing was disbelief. The second was joy. The third was comfort. By the fourth or fifth, it became something more personal, almost like a conversation that didn't require words. Jungkook's ability to create that kind of silent dialogue is what separates a fleeting viral moment from a lasting emotional memory. Asterisk, many fans described the same sensation. It felt as if he appeared not for the crowd, but for them individually. This is where the power of the moment truly lived. In an era dominated by noise, speed, and constant updates, Jungkook chose stillness. And that stillness spoke louder than any announcement ever could. It reminded people that authenticity doesn't need to shout to be heard. Asterisk, the emotional intensity also came from timing. Life moves fast, and not always gently. People are carrying exhaustion, uncertainty, and quiet struggles that rarely make it onto social feeds. Jungkook's sudden appearance landed in the middle of all that, like a pause button the world didn't know it needed. For some, it was a small spark of happiness in a heavy day. For others, it was motivation to keep going just a little longer. Asterisk. There is also the undeniable truth that Jungkook has grown alongside his fans. Those who watched him debut remember a younger version filled with raw talent and endless determination. Now what they see is maturity in an artist who understands the impact of his presence and chooses how and when to use it. This appearance reflected that growth. It wasn't about proving anything. It was about connection. Asterisk speculation, of course, continued to swirl. Fans analyzed every second, every detail, every subtle shift in expression. Was there a hidden message? A quiet promise? Or was the message simply the appearance itself? The beauty of this moment was that it allowed multiple interpretations, each one shaped by the personal experiences of the viewer. And in that way, everyone felt included. Asterisk, what made the global reaction even more remarkable was its emotional consistency. No matter where fans were from, the response carried the same core feelings: surprise, joy, relief, and gratitude. Language barriers disappeared. Cultural differences melted away. All that remained was a shared heartbeat, synchronized by one unexpected moment. Asterisk, as days passed, discussions evolved from shock to appreciation. People spoke not just about Jungkook as an idol, but as a human presence that feels reassuringly real. They talked about how rare it is to feel seen by someone who exists so far away, yet somehow feels close. That paradox is at the center of why this moment mattered so much. Asterisk, and still, the silence that followed was not empty. It was full of anticipation. A quiet understanding settled among fans. Whatever comes next will come in its own time. Jungkook has never rushed meaningful moments, and this felt no different. The absence of immediate explanations only deepened the impact, allowing the emotion to breathe rather than be consumed too quickly. Asterisk, now the question turns back to you. Where were you when Jungkook suddenly appeared? What did you feel in that first second? Did your heart race? Did you smile without realizing it? Did your eyes sting just a little? Share your story in the comments, because this moment is bigger than one person. It belongs to everyone who felt it. Hit like if this appearance meant something to you. And subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of a journey that continues to surprise, comfort, and unite millions around the world. Asterisk, because when Jungkook appears without warning, it's never just an appearance. It's a reminder. A reminder that genuine connection still exists, that emotion still matters, and that sometimes the most powerful moments arrive quietly, then stay with us forever.